Yes, of course. Many thanks for joining us. Let's take you straight to Anambra State, where the off-cycle election will be coming up. And as a matter of fact, uh, we have someone joining us from Anambra State this morning, a member of the civil society organization and also a right activist in the person of Kachi O. Gerard. It's good to have you join us on the program this morning, comrade.
Yeah, thank you for having me. A very good morning to you and to our wonderful viewers.
Thank you very much. Hi, Anambra this morning.
Well, Anambra is cool, calm, and activities are going on smoothly.
We are aware that you are already in Anambra State because of the off-cycle election coming up in Anambra State.
Yes, my organization is one of the 114 accredited observer groups for this off-cycle governorship election that will be taking place on the 8th, which is a Saturday, 2 days from now.
Oh, okay. What exactly is the role of the civil society in electoral process?
Civil society role, in electoral process cannot be overemphasized. The role includes promoting democracy, transparency, and citizens' participation in electoral processes. As Anambra, as a case study, draws near, the role becomes increasingly significant in ensuring that the election is credible, peaceful, and truly reflective of the people's will. And this role can include, voter education and sensitization, which is one of the key functions of CSOs, to engage in mass voter education. They help citizens understand the importance of participating in elections, how to register, collect, and protect their PVCs, how to vote correctly and avoid vote invalidation, the dangers of vote buying, electoral violence, and apathy. Through community outreach, media campaigns, and town hall meetings, CSO bridge the information gap, especially in rural and semi-urban areas. Election observation, just like the one we be also engaging on Saturday, CSOs provide independent observation of the entire electoral process, from pre-election activities to post-election collation. Their roles, of course, includes monitoring the performance of INEC and the security agencies, reporting irregularities and violence with aim of seeing a promotion, documenting compliance with the Electoral Act and the INEC guidelines, providing real-time updates that enhance transparency and build public trust. In Anambra, our organization, which is Initiative Against Human Rights Abuse and Torture, that is in Anambra, I expected to deploy observers across the 21 local government areas of Anambra State. So we also engage in advocacy and engagement with the stakeholders. INEC to ensure logistics, accessibility, and fairness. Political parties to encourage issue-based campaigns and not the calumny that we now often see or attack of personalities. We also ensure that security agencies promote professionalism and non-partisanship, and the media, just like what you are doing today, to foster responsible reporting. This engagement helps prevent manipulations and strengthen interagency coordinations. We also promote peace and conflict mitigation. Elections in Nigeria, including Anambra, are often tension-filled. So CSOs help to promote political actors, mediate between parties and communities to prevent violence, mobilize youth and women for peaceful participation, and partnership with traditional rulers, religious leaders, and community influencers, which has proven effective in reducing pre- and post-election tensions. And of course, not forgetting the inclusivity and representation. Organizations such as ours and the CSOs will champion inclusion of women, youth, and persons with special needs in the electoral process to see fair representation both on the party ticket, accessibility of polling units, equal opportunities in political appointments, and the governance after election. And of course, you can include both post-election accountability, etc., etc. So our role cannot be overemphasized. It's something that you can continue to, present and present. You will track implementation of campaign promises, encourage citizens, a lot of things that the CSO does.
All right.
In fact,
The new INEC chairman has been given a lot of mandate and a lot is expected from him. So far, you've talked about the area of the people. INEC as it is right now, what are you expecting from INEC? Because INEC, as we speak, have a new chairman. Based on your past experience, because I'm sure this is not the first time you are monitoring an election in Nigeria. So what are you expecting differently from the Independent National Electoral Commission in this Anambra off-cycle election? Because even the president have said this is going to be a litmus test for Amopitan.
Yes, the newly appointed Professor Joash and Joe Amopitan, is a good one in direction because if you look at his track record, it shows a lot of integrity and character that we expect to reflect in this first assignment. And of course, in 2021, when they last had the governorship election, the registered voters in that election was around 2.6 million voters, and the turnaround was very poor. Almost 10% of total voting straight in the Anambra state that came out for that. So you go to show that people are beginning to lose faith, trust in the system, and this is the area we expect INEC to improve upon, and that is the area VCSOs are bridging the gaps. As of today, the final register figure, which we are now informed as of yesterday that INEC had a press briefing, was around 2.8 million. That's 2,802,790 registered voters eligible to take part in the election. And if you look at the figures, it's an upgrade to what we have in 2021. But then, if you go to the streets, it's a mixed feeling. You begin to ask yourself, will people actually turn up? Will people actually, are we going to experience the kind of voter apathy that we saw in 2021? You understand? INEC on their own yesterday reaffirmed its commitment to conduct a credible, transparent, and inclusive election. It confirmed that we have over 2.8 million voter register as the basis for the poll. INEC also stated that the only individuals whose name appear on the register, who possesses a valid permanent voter's card, will be allowed to vote at their registered polling units. It also announced that it has accredited numerous observer groups and the media organizations. Of course, they also try to inform us that logistics, they have indicated that they have made a lot of arrangement with regards to logistics, and that primordial voter accreditation system, which is BVAS machines, have been tested, and we also transmit real-time result transmission via the IRE portal, which they promised that they will use. And they also informed us that the collection of PV.
Okay, the collection. Okay, you're talking about the collection of the PVC. There was a time that we heard people didn't go to pick their PVCs. So you were talking about that.
So far they have the 60 stars. Yes, as at today, yesterday when they were giving briefing, they said that they have recorded about 63.9. That's approximately 64% of voters collection, PVC collections, meaning that we still have over 36 plus or 36.1 that is lying there that we expect Nigerians to go and collect in order to exercise their franchise. You understand? So they also inform us that security and accessibility play collaboration with security agencies and urged all stakeholders to avoid voter intimidation, abuse of incumbency, and the use of political facilities for partisan advantage. So if you put all of these things together, it shows that on the side of INEC as electoral empire, they have shown commitment they have shown that they are really prepared for this election. Then we also pray that this level of commitment they have shown should translate on Saturday.
The same question I wanted to ask, because before now, a lot of people have said this is what we hear from INEC in every election, but at the end of the day, we still have inconsistencies and, of course, a lot of other issues, either technical or human or mechanical issues, or maybe as it has to do with human factors too. Now, do you see this time, do you see it being a different ball game altogether? Because there is no election period that we don't hear things from INEC, just like you have said. What do you think is going to make this time a different ball game altogether, different from what INEC have been saying in the past?
You see, election is a collective aggregation of participation of different elements, and that is what result on a result on the election day. INEC, yes, they are the electoral umpire, but they have limit to what they can do. In this part of the country, just as I presented earlier, the about 10% or less that we had in the previous election, if you look at some of the things that affected it, it's not something that you can blame INEC, because there are no perfect arrangements or perfect situation. Everything is always a job in progression, and there's always room for improvement. The less than the voter apathy that was experienced in the last election was as a result of political tension, where unknown government or non-state actors have played a lot of roles in this state, where there's always this sit at home on Mondays, and which as at then you have issues of threats that people begin to accredit to these non-state actors, warning people not to come out because they don't believe in the system. But some of us in the civil societies, these are part of our job, that we go back and let people know that their vote actually counts. Because if your vote does not count, nobody will begin to issue money for you to vote, which is a criminal.
Yes, of course, vote buying is a criminal offense.
You understand? So, yes. Which is part of the job we are trying to bridge the gap. They use their power, their civic rights of a voting election, which is more stronger than even AK-47. If they can utilize it to make their choices, it will make a lot of things better. As of today, the political tensions we have with regards to issues of separatist group leader Mekano trial that is ongoing, and the perceived marginalization that the areas in this region are feeling is actually affecting. So those areas, INEC have nothing much to do, because it affects the outcome of the election or how they are being received in the field. So these are some of the things we try to let people know. If the election does not catch, you know, still staggered results that parties that have just participated in the election with, like LP winning in Lagos, winning in Abuja, and you begin to see parties like PDP winning Castina, Kanu, and what have you in the last general election. That shows that it reflects that, it shows that actually people's votes count. You understand? If it does not count, you will not see people that even have least qualification or with lesser party coming up to the National Assembly. So these are some of the things we go to let people know that what part of the propaganda we had outside is not a reflective of the reality that we are seeing today. So we expect that there should be improvement from what we saw in the 2021 in this upcoming governorship election. We expect that people will turn up. We expect that people will turn out. We expect that people will make a statement.
All right. There is a statement. There is an issue you actually talked about while you were speaking, and that's the issue of registered voters not going to pick their voters card, their PVC, which is worrisome. Number one reason why I said it's worrisome is because Nigeria uses the taxpayers' money to produce these PVCs. and a lot has been spent, all right, to get this ready. What do you think is responsible for people not picking up their PVC in such a decisive movement as patriotic Nigerians?
Some of these things have been related earlier. Issues of perceived marginalization, which leads to the negligence to civic duties, and then issues of security. We are especially when INEC we are giving their briefing yesterday. They also informed us that they are bringing up the exercise that removed the 27,000 plus. That is about 27,800 thereabouts duplicated or multiple entries, and approved almost 5,900 plus transfer applications. So, I'm sure that's part of the 30% plus that are yet to pick up their PVC may fall in that categories, especially the categories of those that expect to that transfer their votes from there.
All right.
States
okay.
That between.
All right. These are very vital.
Hence, that we have had a record of over almost 64% collection so far. So we expect that.
Okay, I think that's encouraging, and we are hoping that the others pick their own too.
This process, yes, we expect that this medium to call them out. Wherever you are, is a civic right, is a civic responsibility. That's the least you can do for your state, for the nation. You understand? Go and pick up your PVC. Now. Leave whatever you are doing business, you are working. Of course, I love the state government with some of the relaxed mood they have given to civil servants in order for them to participate in this process, so that they can, those that have not picked up their PVC due to one engagement or the other, can use the opportunity to pick up and then prepare for the election.
All right. As it is right now, let's look at the civil society organization. We've had in the past where SERAP, maybe Yaga Africa, like is it Nura, your own organization, and a host of other civil society organizations observe elections and they come out with reports. So now your organization is in Anambra State for the off-cycle election. What is expected of your organization after this observation?
Yes, we expected to do a lot of things, just like I have said, and I'm glad that your medium is using the opportunity also to partner to bring people or do a sensitization on these some of these things, and it's part of the work we compile a report and what we observe both on political parties and the electoral empire, compile it together, put it in form of reports, and then make recommendations and commendations, where necessary, and submit it with the hope that we improve in the system. And of course, where there's need for us to sponsor this for amendment, where there's do advocacy projects, we will do that. And then where there's need for us to ensure implementation of already laws we have, we will also do that. So it's part of the collaboration we are doing to see that we have a credible, fair, and transparent election.
All right. What do you do as a civil society organization? Because number one, we know that elections in Nigeria, a lot of people fault elections in Nigeria. There are some people who come to participate in elections as ad hoc staff. Do you have anything that touchlights the activities of people like that? Hello, can you hear me, comrade? Well, we're looking at the Anambra election and the role of civil society in electoral process. Already, we have Anambra State in a very high spirit. Can you hear me, comrade? As a matter of fact, there is a high spirit in Anambra State right
Yes,
now. Hello, comrade.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I was asking about ad hoc staff, their activities, because some of them take advantage of the situation to actually sabotage what is supposed to be done in the right way because they look at it as an opportunity, being ad hoc staff. What do you think is your preparation to monitor and observe things like that? What are your strategies?
That is what we are saying. You know, when you talk about adult staff, you're talking about as adult staff to the electoral umpire, which mostly they are the ones that are sent to the field as POs, APOs, and what have you. That is, POs is the presiding officers, assistant presiding officers, and others. You know, they are the ones that are usually used in the field to do all of this. Of course, from time to time, INEC train them because it's like the combat agreement. So they work in sessions. Once set goes, and other people are coming up and they face the same training and the upgraded training. So from what INEC is telling us, they have our own work is to observe, monitor their output, which we expect that they will conduct themselves in most professional manner, of course, and especially with regards to the current DG that they have in NYC that has improved the welfare of the core members and is doing a lot of good work in that place, which we are giving thumbs up to. So we expect that it will translate in this election, and we expect also that their welfare be taken care of by those that are deploying them, like INEC. It shouldn't be that at the end of the work they will be struggling to get what they are deserving. You know, it's one of the things that make them to sometimes to compromise from what they are expected to do. So we are looking forward, praying that they will live up to expectation, because just like I said earlier, there are no perfect arrangements or perfect organization. There are always work in progress, and there are always room for improvement. So we will be there to support whenever there's needed, and then we'll observe what we observe and then make recommendations for improvement.
Yes, a lot of people, before now, a lot of people have faulted political office holders, people who are contesting for these positions, as the major actors, all right, in sabotaging free and fair election in Nigeria. Do you believe in that school of thought?
Oh yes. You see, it's just like we have been saying that and time. Take for example, in the Electoral Act of 2022 as amended, it makes it a criminal offense that you don't expose your vote when after casting it, to show people who you voted for or how you cast your vote. But in that 2023 general election, we saw a lot of violators, including the ruling class. Even the former late President Muhammad Buhari voted in Daura, and he showed the world his ballot paper. We saw a similar thing play out with I think Senator Joseph Okalo. We see a lot of parties, violate those rules. You talk about issues of vote suppression, intimidation, and harassment. We saw it play out. We saw even local government chairman carrying talks, snatching ballot buses. It play out in Kogi. Then you look at vote buying and influences. We saw it play out. Some of these things is what we pray that with the new chairman on board, whom many people have vowed to his integrity, to his outstanding leadership, we expect it to reflect, even that it's so solid. And again, we are also pushing for amendments to enable CSOs, not just electoral umpires or security agents, to enable them to institute actions. You understand? Whenever these laws are breached, because sometimes when you push reports, recommendations, and you expect parties that are supposed to take action, they are struggling to take action. It weakens the process. But by the time civil societies begin to carry out litigations suing those that have been in violation to some of these laws, it will help our electoral system. So if people are beginning to accuse politicians of influencing or playing foul with regards to influencing the outcome of it, it's not far-fetched. It's a reality that we all know, and that is what we are working to see that we limit and improve upon.
All right. Well, it's been a very wonderful time. But before I let you go, I still have a few more questions that I'll need to ask you right now. The way it is in Anambra State, you're already on ground with your team. Now, how is the body language of the people? Because we have even the incumbent governor and other persons. As it is right now, what is the body language of the people? Do you see them as people who are ready to come out tomorrow en masse? Or on Saturday,
yes.
I mean?
People are very energized, motivated, and prepared to, go to the field to, exercise their franchise, this privilege of observing the elections. And I'm very sure that, as they have always done, they will come out with excellent reports. Of course, when the reports are ready, or maybe even when we begin to, like tomorrow, we'll be issuing a pre-election release press statements, and then on election they will also give updates on what is going on. Of course, your station will be one of the first to receive our information as events progress. So we are motivated, we are prepared.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, Comrade Kashi, all the way from Anambra State. And finally, before I let you go, what will be, this is general now to all Nigerians who are already saying their votes don't count. Apart from Anambra State, there are other places in Nigeria where PVCs are still lying in INEC offices. What would you say to Nigerians about picking their PVCs and being patriotic?
The vote actually counts. If vote does not count, you will not see people bringing those Maggi sugar, rice, or what have you, tomatoes to influence your vote. If your vote does not count, they will not be even giving you money or a form of vote selling and vote buying. You understand? If your vote does not count. If your vote does not count, you will not see different parties, winning elections in the area that is expected to have a domination of ruling party. In the last general election, the report showed that APC won with 12 states, and the runners-up, which is PDP, 12 states, and of course, Labour Party also had 11 states plus LCT, which you can also place to the 12 states. So if the result does not count, you not see that kind of results. I mean, if your vote does not count, you not see that kind of result. Where people that you think that are very popular are coming from, they are losing elections. So if result does not count, you not see smaller parties winning elections. So anybody telling your result does not count is either making you to stay back so that they will manipulate the process. The more you come out, the more we have a stake in this governance system.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, Comrade Kachi O. Gerard. He is actually a right activist and a member of civil society organization, and as we speak, he's in Anambra State to monitor the off-cycle election happening on Saturday. We wish you all the best as you observe the election in Anambra State.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. You're welcome. Well, this is going to be the size of the first conversation.